Good afternoon, everyone. We have our chief guest and respected Professor Dr. SWARNLATA Ma'am SARAF here. A very good afternoon, ma'am. Since past 1 year, we are compliant with the serious pandemic COVID-19 situation. Now, it is our commitment to what we have to achieve in the coming years that we are lagged behind somewhere. With the description of the today's webinar's topic, greetings for the day, everyone. Honorable Chief Guest, our speaker for the day, Professor Dr. SWARNLATA SARAF Ma'am, Director Ma'am, Professor Dr. MANJU Pandey, respected faculty members, Ms. Shivbhadra Ma'am, Ms. Anam Fatima Ma'am, Ms. Preeti Singh Ma'am, respected dignitaries from different fields, and my dear students. A very good afternoon to one and all present today for this webinar, withholding the topic from compliance to commitment. I, Priyanka BAJPAI, webinar coordinator on the behalf of Institute of Pharmacy, Shri Ramswaroop Memorial University, Lucknow, extend a very warm welcome to our special guest, respected SWARNLATA Ma'am, for giving her precious time and joining us today in this session. It is my privilege and great pleasure to welcome such a noble personality from the field of pharmacy as our chief guest and also the speaker. Thank you so much, ma'am. Professor Dr. SWARNLATA SARAF Ma'am is the Professor and Director, University Institute of Pharmacy, Dean, Faculty of Technology, Pandit Ravi Shankar Shukla University, Chhattisgarh, B.Pharm from IIT, BHU, M.Pharm, PhD, Dr. H.S. Gore University, Sagar. She has an academic tenure of 22 years. She is also the member of Pharmacy Council of India, PCI, All India Council for Technical Education, New Delhi, AICTE, University Grants Commission, National Assessment Accreditation Council, Bangalore, Directorate of Chhattisgarh Technical Education, Public Service Commission, Chhattisgarh. She has also withheld national honors like Members Scientific Committee, IPC 66 Hyderabad, Speaker 65th Indian Pharmaceutical Congress 2014, Member Indian Delegation of Pharmacy Council of India for the Study of Pharmacy Profession of UK 2010, Member as Indian Delegation of Pharmacy Council of India FIP Hyderabad, India, chaired scientific session of 60th Indian Pharmaceutical Congress 2008, New Delhi. She has also PhD guided students around 14, current PhD students working 3, MPharm guided students number 27. She has also publications like books 5, chapters 5, research papers and review published 190, abstracted and presented in conferences 40, patent applied 14, one screened from first examination. She is also the principal investigator of project entitled Targeted Delivery of Phytoconstituents to Reduce Ultraviolet Radiation Generated Skin Cancer, sanctioned by University Grants Commission, UGC, New Delhi, under MRP scheme. She is also a deputy coordinator of project sanctioned by UGC SAB to University Institute of Pharmacy, and she is also a core team member of project sanctioned by Department of Science and Technology to the University Institute of Pharmacy under DST FIST scheme. Now I would request our respected Director Ma'am, Professor Dr. Manju Pandey Ma'am, to kindly felicitate with golden words for our chief guest. Please, ma'am.
Thank you, Priyanka. Good afternoon, ma'am. Education is about far more than what happens within the four walls of the classroom. And we are very fortunate to have such a great and renowned personality with us today, Professor Dr. SWARNLATA SARAF, ma'am. I am glad to respectfully and cordially welcome you, ma'am. who does not need any common introduction, as almost all of us gathered here are aware of your remarkable deeds just as a whole. She is very respectable personality who is widely known to have put in a lot of efforts encouraging and setting up many more accomplishments in the area of pharmacy as well as various social awareness programs. Welcome, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, for your time. Over to Priyanka.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now, I would request our respected special guest and speaker, Professor Dr. SWARNLATA SARAF, ma'am. Ma'am, kindly express the golden views for today's webinar from compliance to commitment for us and for our dear students. Please, ma'am.
Thank you so much, and namaskar to all of you. First, I would like to congratulate all the team members, and especially for the MANJU Pandey and the director uh, of Ramswaroop College, Ramswaroop University, Lucknow, and the moderator of today's program is Priyanka. And both are the women leaders. I'm happy to see that. And they are catching the education around this city or around this state. So happy to see this. So I also congratulate to the management of your university. They have given the opportunity to facilitate you people for organizing such a nice activity. During this pandemic situation, we all know at that during this time, all are suffering from the mental stress. That is the foremost criteria of today's world for mental stress, how to come up from there. Because when the person, those are everywhere is they are working, but they are coming the gharwas. Not weak, I am not using the word lockdown because they have given that, but gharwas. In education system, in new education policy, they have used the term the gharwas. Gharwas is a really a wonderful experience, which when I came in contact with all the public or the members or the committee, faculty, students, and they were very happy. But some persons, some of the criteria are totally different, and somewhere is a different. But looking to the globally in a pandemic situation, that stress is lesser in our country as compared to the globally. In our country, the nature of our country is uh, they want to live with their culture. So that's the foremost need thing. We live with their peace and work a lot and give a lot to the country. And they have rethinking, re-introspection of all the persons and rethinking and make them creative. And this thinking in the education, I saw that the in the education, our teachers becomes the online everywhere. All education system has been changed and they have accepted and adapted to the virtual world. Now the need of our country for educating the people and education is the only the criteria which can um, make the efforts which can achieve the heights to become a global. Our country will be global. And as we have seen in the vaccine, looking to that, how we can achieve it. First, we have to change the mindset. So for that mindset, the topic which you people have chosen is compliance to the commitment. I am very much fascinated to this topic. So compliance is the important, but compliance is not increasing word. And commitment is an increasing and enthusiastic word. और जो हम देखते हैं कि भारत हमारा कंट्री भारत जब सीखता है और जब कोई enthusiastic होता है, they want to willingness to do that, then they are in a commitment. So that commitment is come from their own soul. So that commitment is very important. So we have to travel and make our minds. And to the students also, they are the future of our country. Our country has a 60% of the age, uh, 60 crore, 60 crore population of our country is 20 below 25 years. So teachers are the only person in our country. They can change the mindset of the country. When the mindset of the country is changed, wherever they are seeing, that the country will be the winner. We can achieve. We will be the Vishwa Guru. विश्व गुरु कैसे बनते हैं? तो विश्व गुरु हम बन सकते हैं. Only we teacher. We should be proud of. I am a teacher. I have this much commitment. This time we are seeing that we have a compliance only, but we have to move from compliance to the commitment. We have to make our students compliance to the commitment. When we are looking to the students, just they wind up the work with the last minute and do the work. I have done it. So that mindset we have to change. In our earlier ages, we have a students everyday study, and jobs are the byproduct, and education is the first. What they are learning, what they know, and how they are learning, and what practicals they are doing, what they are doing that. That is from experiential learning they have, and what they learn and they are giving to the after the passing from the institute, what they are giving to the society. So that connects was very good, and this connect we have to put further to achieve the goals of our country. So we are the teachers. We are proud of that. We are the teacher. We are the only change maker. We are the change maker, and we have. जब हम टीचर हैं तो हमें ऊपर तक ले जाना है. We should feel proud कि we have a class में 60 students को हम ले जा सकते हैं. We have power to do that. Not only the duty, power to do that. So for that purpose, from compliance, do it, and to the commitment. As few slides I have prepared, so I would like to share to all you people. That is present. Is it visible? Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
So then we will go through from compliance to the commitment. First, we should know what is compliance, because we have to understand what is compliance and what is the meaning of compliance to the commitment. This compliance to the commitment is to continuously create the opportunity for employees to make positive choices that are in their best interest and in the best interest of the organization. Every time the nature, this is a social science area, and in the social world, what we can give. We are the teacher, we are also the social science teacher. And in the pharmacy world, as we know, the 50% effect of the drug is by placebo effect. How we are communicating to the patient. So that is a 50% social. So in such a way, we are the social science experts also. So the nature of the person, the patients for our students is they want, in fact, the people create the choices. Whatever the good choices they have, so we have to make the mind of our students in a positive choices. We have to make the positive choices. And when they have a positive choices, then they will select that. Then they will opt that. So these positive choices, we always have to make it. And this is the only area which I seen and I experienced, this is the only area to change the mindset from compliance to the commitment area, commitment. So that interest we have to inculcate in our students. So by this way we can do. So we have to know that what is compliance. So this is the action or the fact of complying with a wish or command only. This is the wish and the way in which the state maintains order and compliance. जैसे हम पहले चाह रहे थे कि this is a order and compliance, just we have to do that. No any enthusiasm and nothing. So we have to do anyhow, complete my work in the best of our knowledge, and we have to complete by copying or by anything, or by taking the notes from our students, from taking the some other area. We have to just within a time, and we have to submit that. That is the compliance. And this compliance means conforming to a rule, such as a specification, policy, standards, or law. As in education institutions, at last minute, we comply with the submission of PCI. Nowadays, you are also seeing that up to 31st January, everybody have to submit their PCI SIF. So all things, they are going in rush and submitting the SIF. So that is how we have to submit. That creation is important. We have to submit in a good way, good manner. More and more things we have to put it. But up to last minute, they are just submitting. They are not willing to do that. So that willing is missing. So such as this is a regulatory compliance, or anyhow the compulsion of the submission. So the regulatory compliance describes the goals that organization aspires to achieve in their efforts. Only for that, to ensure that they are aware of and take steps to comply with the relevant laws, policies, and the regulation. As we are seeing here, only the rules, regulations, and guidelines we have to fulfill. And we have to balance between all these things. And this is a one picture which I have put it here. Is a one person is not complying with the other. The task of the teacher is to make this non-compliant person to the compliant person in such a manner, to make in such a manner the Make in India like that. If we have to put it, he should be the important person of our unit. So this compliance not only can do this. Next, come to the commitment. What is the commitment? What does it mean, the commitment? The making a commitment involves the dedicated yourself to something, like a person or a cause. Dedication is important. Dedication comes from their soul, from their inner mind, for their inner strength. Their inner intrinsic quality they start utilizing. We know that in our nowadays, the in this era, in कलयुग में, हमारे brain का जितना part है, brain का percentage, how percentage, if anybody is knowing, nowadays we are using only 2 to 3% of our mind, but earlier our ancestors, they were using the mind 100%. And nowadays we are using only 2 to 3%. Whole life निकल जाती है और हम use नहीं कर पाते. So we have to use maximum, utilize our mind. How we can do that? Just by doing our dedication to do a small thing. Do a small work with their dedication. I will spend 1 hour time, but full dedication. Then it will create your more energy. You will feel the energy. So that is the commitment. Before you make a commitment, think carefully what we are doing. If you are doing in a wrong direction, then you have to do wrong direction with a commitment. That will make that will bring you in a negative direction. But your commitment is full. So that will be the loss of yours. So positive thinking, positive choices is very important for committing your dedication. A commitment obligates you to do something always. And some commitments are large, just like marriages, we are committed in our culture. Whole life, one wife and one husband. That is an Indian commitment in Hindu mythology. And in our education system, committed to our organization for 5 years, 10 years, or up to the retirement phase. That commitment you will do for your college. You will work for your subject which you are doing. So what is new things is coming in your subject, you should be familiar with that. That comes by your commitment. If you are loving your subject, if you are uh, committed to their subject, will be in spread in your class, and the students will be happy. So the staying after school for a study or a group shows your commitment to good grades. As one example for the students, when they take the admissions in the class, their commitment is to get the good grades. Just like that, a few examples has been shown. The effective communication to be there for results for the students, effective communication for the teachers, what your expectations and what you celebrate. When you do the work with a commitment, you celebrate your success. And this success comes when you do with the transparency, with positive work culture. And these commitments are the points of your commitment, are the points for that purpose. And in new education policy, uh, yesterday I attended a meeting with the Niti Aayog. In that meeting, everybody is talking about the commitment. And these commitments, how it will come. Because every students and the teachers, they are compliance basis, they are working. But the mindset we have to change everywhere. So how it will come? So we have discussion and a lot of suggestions came from the vice chancellors of this country. So we have to start the incentives to the committed teacher. So those are committed teacher. We have to give the incentives in some manner. Maybe financial, maybe awards, maybe some spreading or whatever. So in a manner, we have to give the incentives to the teachers. Whatever they give the innovations or patent filing or publications or book chapters writing, every work is very important for the organization. It adds to the organization biodata and the profile. It improves the image of the organization. The only organization and the management can't do that. If the teachers are happy in the sense they are committed to the organization, they should be honored or awarded by their incentives. So that is the need of our. तो we have में teachers का बहुत सम्मान करना है और teachers को respect करना है. That culture we have to inculcate, and all these things will come by the commitment. So now we have two things, compliance and a commitment. Both are the different. How we have to travel in our education institutions from compliance to the commitment, how we can achieve it. So that things we can achieve when we know what is the in compliance element. So where the areas, the inner compliance elements, where we can work on it. The elements in the compliances are the implementing the written policies and the procedure. That's only which we are doing for AICT submission and AICT form submission and the PCI submission. And if for projects we are doing, we are just submitting the abstract of that, and for the MRPs or the DST or like that, we are doing that. So just the policies we have to follow, just implementation. Here is the word is given, the implementation. Already prepared, we have to implement. That is a compliance. And the designation of designating a compliance officer and a compliance committee. If we are not doing, then we can designate a compliance officer. और एक कमेटी बना देते हैं और उसको दे देते जाओ, you do it. And conducting effective training and education. We are doing FTP programs, we are doing the fresher programs. Still, nobody is educated. Results is not good. So, developing the effective lines of communication. So, we have to make the effective lines. And how these lines is to be. So, that for the compliance. And conducting the internal monitoring and the auditing. That is a compliance, also the points where we can work on it. And responding promptly to detected problems and undertaking corrective actions. So all these things we should first familiar where it is. The problems in education area, there is a teacher to teacher. They have a too much ego. So that ego we have to come over on that. The corrective measures we have to take. How we can do that? So first, the identification of what are the elements, what are the points where we can work on it. So these are the compliance points. We are doing very well in a compliance and getting the result. But it is not only the criteria for achieving the goal. It is only the base criteria. That's why in our country we have more than 10,000 colleges. How we can do from compliance to the commitment? So we have to follow what the steps we are taking in the compliance way. So in compliance, we do identify the applicable acts, regulations, directives, and the standards. And we identify the applicable requirements. That is also work. We are doing the work. So identify the applicable requirements. We monitor for changes. We are doing well in compliance and determining the applicability of changes. What applicable? And collaborate with your team and subject matter experts. जब कुछ समझ नहीं आता है तो हम अपने सीनियर से या प्रोफेसर से या यूनिवर्सिटी टीचर से किसी से पूछ लेते हैं. तो we are collaborating. Documents your compliance reviews. We do. Compliance का review करते हैं कि इसमें क्या बच गया और क्या हो गया. That is more than sufficient for the compliance. So this is process. So this is in the process and the element. These two areas we have identified how we can proceed for commitment. So, and we can say the compliance, it's just a job for which we are getting the fund. This compliance can't make the mistake of assuming the nature of the compliances which we are doing. We all institutions, which I feel in all institutions, they are doing on a better way the compliance things. Every teacher, every student, they are doing and getting the jobs. So it is just a job. But now in our country, to become a Vishwaguru, we need much more. Not only this, need much more because we are in an Azad world में हैं. हमको आजादी मिल चुकी है और हम इस वर्ल्ड में रहते हैं, तो हमें अपना जो कल्चर, अपनी जो दुनिया है, उसमें हमें आना है. हम कैसे बहुत सारा दे सकते हैं, हमें अपने ब्रेन को यूज करना है. Everybody, because Indian genetic code is for creation. It is highly creative. One thing you are familiar with that जुगाड़. हमारे यहाँ का छोटा सा बच्चा भी होता है, उसको जुगाड़ आता है for the survival. It shows that this जुगाड़ is an innovation. It is an innovation. In other words, they are saying it is an innovation. But in our, we are just using at a negative word. जुगाड़. Just that mindset we have is it is a negative word. इसने तो जुगाड़ करके आ गया. No. This is an innovation for used by that follow for their survival. The choice is it should be in a positive direction. It should not be in a negative direction. So we have to create the opportunities for the positivity. So that positive things we have to create. So when the person have a choices for the positive things, then they will choose first the positive things. Then they will go for the, if nothing positive is available, then they will go for the negative. So that mindset we have to change. So compliance only gives the just a job. So before that, in a compliance, the nature of the compliance is it makes the mistake of assuming that compliance with government requirements, the corporate policies and the procedures we have to follow, equate to employee commitment to business success, that equation. And compliance encourages people to dutifully meet meaningful minimum requirements and to wait for instructions for their managers. जो हमारे अभी we see that in our organizations, they are just waiting कि हमें order मिले, principal हमें बोले तो हम class में जाएंगे, principal हमें बोलेगा कि हमें ये वाला experiment करना है तो हम करेंगे, principal हमें बोलेगा तो हम ये ऐसा काम करेंगे. So that attitude, that things we have to, that attitude we have to change for our for making ourselves enthusiastic and encourageous and happy to do that, to give much more because we have, our teachers have. So don't wait for the manager, do your duties. And compliance gives only dutifully. That is for running an institution is very good. But for the development of the person itself, for the development of the student, for the development of the organization in whole, in total, it is not just sufficient. For the development, commitment is very important. In the commitment, the personal and business success, we get the success only. We are not just running, we get the success. So the committed implies, the reference to that, the committed employees embrace the corporate values. What are the values in that? So that culture and traditions we will have, not only just complying the regulatory requirements. We are inculcating the nature of that organization and strive to make ethical decisions. So the teachers and the students and the management personalities, they value for ethical decisions. During this COVID situation, we saw that the teachers are not getting the salary. So this is not an ethical decision by the management. So that's why the Pharmacy Council of India had given the directives. If they are not getting the salary, if any teacher will complain, then the affiliation will be dysfunction. So the PCI has taken this initiative. If a teacher will say, will mail, then it will happen. So if all persons will do that, it is in a big way we have to do. And slowly, first step तो हमें चढ़ना ही होगा. First step हम चढ़ेंगे तो ही काम बनेगा. So we have to wait a long. हमें ऊपर तक जाना है, अभी first step हम चढ़ी नहीं है. So we have to change our mindset. And we have to take the ethical decisions. With commitment, the people in the commitment when the people take the ownership of their work. Own, ye mera work. This is my work. I will do. This is my work. And productivity. My work and the productivity. Develop creative solutions. Just करके जाना नहीं है. It gives the creative solutions. And accept the challenges as opportunities to innovate. And develop new skills and value teamwork. When a person thinks, as we do in our family, this is my home, these are my children, this is my husband, and this is my food, I will prepare. So that things they are preparing, they are doing, they have own ownership, this is mine. So if they have such feeling of ownership, if similarly in their organization, if they were feeling this is my class and this is my subject, then whatever new things is coming, I will deliver to the students. If that nature, that mindset, or we can say a commitment in a person, in a teacher or in a students, okay, I will learn, I want to become this person. I will want to be a regulatory drug controller. I want to become a researcher, want to become a formulation expert, want to become a good hospital pharmacist. So that commitment will create the solutions, how we can do. So that create the enthusiasm to that. So then the students with limited time, in limited resources, that create the new things in that. If he or she is committed. But in compliance, what they do, just I have to pass with good grades. That's all. So creation will come out. In earlier ages, what will happen? The job is byproduct, and education is first. So nowadays we are saying it is missing. So when a person have a feeling of ownership, then they will take anything as a challenge. They will accept the challenge. I will do. So that things is required. A committed workforce exceeds the management's expectations. Management सोच भी नहीं पाता, उससे आगे निकल जाता है. Because personal success is equated with the company success, your organization success, your institution success. वो सोच भी नहीं पाते, उनका तो just target थोड़ा सा होता है, but it is more than that. All team doing the work as ownership. So it exceeds. So this is the most important element of a committed and engaged workforce. And people own their work and want to help others succeed because they are not focused solely on self-interest. Nowadays, we are seeing in our institutions, they are working for their self-interest. किसी का कुछ होता होने दो, हमें क्या करना? So that nature is not good enough. For a moment of time, if they are doing this only for the self-interest, then we should also have to see कि others किसी दूसरे का खराब तो नहीं हो रहा है, किसी दूसरे को परेशानी तो नहीं हो रही है. परेशानी doesn't basic things to be completed. Afterward, the other person also have to compete with that, with quality. जैसे 3 Idiots की आपने पिक्चर देखी होगी, उसमें distorted manner में था, but we should not go with that. If we are compete to our friend with group discussion or with communication, then you will see in whole class, the class will get the first class or the honors. But when we go with when the students will go with the negative, then only few students will get the first class or the honors and others will down. In the classes, when we see that 20% are the advanced learner students and 40 to 50% are the average students and 20% are the below average students. But when the good mixing and the teacher nature is for the positive thinking, and deliberation is in a positive thinking. Then the advanced learner will do. They will do because they have a creative thinking and everything. They will do. But average students is the main criteria. It average student mindset is changed with the teacher's mindset. So this is the main capturing area by the teacher. So teacher positive thinking is very important. The teacher can change the 50% population, 50% strength of the class to a advanced learner area. They can give that. So they have power to do that. And below average students, they can also come to achieve that. That zeal they can create in them. So they will achieve. So in such a way, the teacher have a quality to contribute to the country. Ultimately, the students after the passing out, they are serving to the nation. So that the power is only in the teacher. So we have to do that. The how we can make them the committed from compliance to the committed. So the employer or the management personals, or we can see in the with respect to the students, the teachers, we have to always get to the engagements, engage them. So for that purpose, we have to give the projects that will create the creativity, creative power, thinking power. So they will become the more productive. The student will get the more success. So a culture of accountability that engages employees and the places. In case of the teachers, we can, for the organization, we can see the teachers. And the places high trust in their ability to make good decisions, then workforce productivity will increase. And one report by the McKinsey Global Institute Research, they found that the improving the communication and the collaboration through the use of social technologies. This social technology is related to the from which place our students are coming, from which place our teachers are coming. So, what are the mindset of that person? If slowly we will ask, we can change, then we can get the much more results. So that raises this social technologies we have to use it for improving the growth of the class and improving the growth of our organization institutions. This raises the employees' productivity by 20 to 25% if they have a high trust. Regular communication increases the engagement, and a higher engagement increases the productivity. जैसे हम ये आपस में जब हम बातें करते हैं तो हमें कंटिन्यूसली मिलते रहना चाहिए ना 15 days for 1 month or 1 year, whatever the period you are deciding for a person or for the students. So that engagement increases the productivity for any company or for your organization. So always interactions are required. Communication should not be missing. Communication should be maintained. So according to the another organization, another research, the Gallup's research, high employee engagements produces a 21% higher productivity. And the engagement depends on effective leadership skill. What are the effective leadership skills you have? That skills is related to like social technologies you are applying, from which nature, from which area the students are coming and the teachers are coming, what nature of that, what are the cadre of that. So take it as a smoothly and give the support to them. Always we get the productivity can be improved when we are giving the support. Without support, we can't expect. We never expect for that. So that comes under the leadership skills. What leadership skills we have. So that skills is make them more productive. in their engagement processes. Communication is important. So in the communication, we have to get the engagement. And during that engagement process, what we do, convince the employees to care about their work. How we can do it? We have to care. Whatever work has been assigned to that, the teachers, they have to care for that. आपको क्लास देना है, you have to go there. And to feel like owners. वो आपको करना है कि अगर हम नहीं जाएंगे तो बच्चों का क्या होगा, स्टूडेंट्स का क्या होगा. So we have to feel like this is my work. We have to care. So that feeling we have to create in the teacher. And process comprised of multiple activities. कुछ भी कर सकते हैं. We have a good discussion. We can accommodate by the online classes, virtual world, or by project work, by discussions. Nowadays we have included in the MFOM syllabus is a research discussions, general club. As we go with the PCI syllabus in journal club for creating the research aptitude in the MFOM student. But earlier when I was studied from the Sagar University in India for research work, that time we do not have such type of things. Already we have a research environment. But now the need of the hour, we have included the journal club. The students should go and read the journals. What journals, what matter has been written and how the research work they have presented. First, we have to see that. The students will study and they will express. So they will learn. And regularly share company goals. हमें हमेशा ये बताते रहना कि what we want to achieve. We should have always the teachers and the employer, vice chancellors and the deans, faculty members, they have to share why we are doing these extracurricular curricular activities and these projects and getting the funds to get the accreditation, A grade in our accreditation in MBA or in NAC accreditation. So that goals they have to always share continuously in regular basis, 2 months, 3 months, or every semester. So we have to achieve the good results also. So that regular, that is the leadership of the employer. So that always strike to the teachers and the students. We have to work and inculcate the nature of the caring nature for their work and ownership in the employees. So communicate the importance of each job in achieving the goals. Always we have to do. And acknowledge. If anybody is doing a good, then we have to acknowledge. Owners have to acknowledge employee who make good decisions. Because in any organization, everybody is doing good. Is not. They are just complex. But for getting the more and more result, good results, creative powers. So for that, if anybody is doing with a commitment, doing something good, doing out of the box, giving the out of the box ideas for doing anything, so then the employer have to acknowledge the decisions, good decisions taken by that employee, and pointing out how their accomplishment contribute to your corporate mission, your institution mission, team progress, and or innovative problem solving ideas. Our teachers and the new minds, means students, they are full of ideas, and teaching organizations are known for the ideas only. You are familiar with that. In publication, in research publications, India is third in that publication. The lot they have been publishing is we are third globally. And every research is dependent on the ideas. So how we are capturing, I would like to share here how we are capturing the need of the industry just by publication. We are publishing and we are third in the globally. And 50% of the economy, the industry is spent for the ideas. And nowadays in our country and global area, in a global sector, globally in a pharma sector, they are using the idea of the teachers' publications. And in such a way, they are um, giving the cheap medication. So that things is to be in such a way we are just contributing to the nation. Whatever thinking you have, you just publish. Whatever you find, you just publish or patent. Nowadays, we should also patent for small things also. So these ideas are very important. And it also gives the recognition to our country, recognition to the teachers, and recognition to the students. So the students feel proud. So regular engage all employees, so they focus on achieving business goals in the right way. So regularly change and engage them. If one work is there completed, then another work. So they will feel engaged, or when they will become a big person, they are not knowing. So in such a way, when a person or a teacher achieve the goal, then indirectly this is the achievement of the organization also. So the management and teacher both have a good relation with that. They are contributing and management is achieving the goals. The nature of compliance thinking nature, this compliance thinking nature is minimal thinking. And compliance thinking culture I have to just dull feeling. I have to do that. I have to attitude. I have to people feel they have no choice and the resentment builds from being forced to comply. That and employees avoid the personal responsibilities. जैसा कि आजकल हम लोग देखते हैं in our institutions, they are जो भी है अपने मैनेजमेंट ने किया है दिस टीचर दैट टीचर्स और स्टूडेंट्स आर ओन रेस्पॉन्सिबल बट आई एम नॉट रेस्पॉन्सिबल सो दे अवॉइड द पर्सनल रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी बिकॉज दे आर नॉट इन चार्ज ऑफ देयर डिसीजन so but in commitment culture if any organization have that culture so committed thinking culture have and I choose it. I choose to mentality. So they have, I will choose that ownership comes. I choose to, people are responsible people and accept the consequences of their choices. So what will happen after doing that? If we will do this, if this result will come. So they have a solution, further solutions they have. They are feeling ownership. So if negative results comes, further they have a solution. But in compliance culture, they do not have any creation, no any solutions they have. So a team of commitment thinker is a team that can be led to the accomplish great things. They will do. Brain intelligence is nothing. In now we can see that in our new education policy, everybody is getting the power to do that, power to educating themselves. How it can? No differentiation between the advanced learner and below average learner. Everybody is respected. Every student is respected. Every teacher is respected. Because all are contributing in nation building. If the person are just doing the compliance, they are also important. They are doing the basic things. And those are advanced learner, they are doing the with compliance to the commitment also. No any criteria, no differences as advanced learner and below average learner. No differences is there. Some are doing the basic requirements in basic building and some are doing the advanced requirement of the basic building. No differences in the humanities and the sciences students. who need, some are contributing, all are contributing in this ability. So that culture we teachers have to change the mindset of the organizations or surrounding us. So education is the ability to listen to almost anything without losing your mind. हम प्रिंसिपल्स को देखते हैं या मैनेजमेंट को देखते हैं ना कि वो कुछ भी बोलने लगते हैं आपने नहीं किया, but they are not listening the problems of that teacher or the students. We have to listen. So in an organization, if you are educated, if you are feeling that I am educated, so then you already have that ability to listen, and then you will give the solution. That creation will give you the solution. Then further the person will come. That will be full of the enthusiasm. That will be the that person will be good enough to contribute to you. So that nature we understand. So a good leader wants like a friend and guide with his subordinates and make them gel with each other into a strong and cohesive units. Always we have to make a strong and cohesive unit. जब जेल हम बनाते हैं उसमें सस्पेंशन में अगर हम सर्फेक्टेंट नहीं डालेंगे तो it will not uniform distribution. So what will happen? We will not get the equal distribution or in the whole of the system of the suspension or emulsions. So the leaders and learnings are indispensable to each other. Leaders are throughout the learner. And effective leadership involves inspiring average people to do the work of their superiors effectively. So that is effective leadership is that they have a good cohesion with all members. So the best example of this good leadership, nowadays we have seen that in India, how we can achieve the 8 vaccine research has been researched. So we become the leader. हम ये अचानक तो नहीं हुए. How we can produce the researchers? So leaders in vaccine research. Now we become, and we are providing to the Germany, providing to the UK, providing to the London, and providing to the US also. We are manufacturing and providing to them. So how we can provide it? So now we are the leader also. जबकि हम क्या कहे जाते थे? We are the poor country. But our researchers, our scientists work a lot and they have a capacity. They have a commitment and they get the support and the commitment from the government. The pharma companies get the commitment from the government to make it. You go ahead. I will be behind you. So they have prepared, they have produced the bulk production and courage to prepare in advance. They have a courage to prepare in advance. The bulk production they did and wait for the clinical trial. But before the third clinical trial has come, they have started preparing. And courage for fast decision by the DCGI. On whole data when come, the DCGI has taken the fast decision, but in combination with the government. That's why this collaboration and commitment from the government, commitment from the regulatory body, commitment from our scientists, commitment of the management, and commitment or scientists and manufacturing units, manufacturing scientists, all have a good commitment in for preparation of the vaccines. Then we lead that vaccine research. Otherwise, India is a poor country. But now India is leading. And this leading is because of the commitment by all the scientists. So we win the race, and now on 16 January, we have just started after all preparations, all around the cities, in all states, we win the race. We have started, and we have also the plan. किसको पहले मिलेगी, किसको बाद में मिलेगी. But for general public, they have also provided in a March. So show the capabilities globally. India is not a developing country. It is going towards a developed country. Now they have started to speaking that India have a power, have a capacity, have a capability, and the creativity also to make it and make this that things make our Indian citizens proud. That is the best example which I found in our life. We can be just by the commitment. If nobody have a commitment, just by the compliance, then we can't do that. Nobody can do that. With collaboration and with commitment, then we can achieve. And everybody is, I think, is happy with that. So still, with our students, with our educational organizations, more things we have to understand, more things we have to do. Not only the vaccine, but we have to think on what is happening globally, so we have to achieve it. The things are around the pills. Digitalization of the pills, how we can take it. In around the pills means we are taking the pills, but how we will take. So digitalization for how much digital medical devices, these devices we need. So these devices with their pills, with their systems, with reservoirs, with their dosage specimen. So with that, we also have to for the patient compliance, we also have to electronic or biomedical scientists or our engineers for designing are also required. We have to switch to that area. Another things we have to do organ on chip to minimize the use of the human being. Organ on chip, some simulated systems we on the electronic devices we have to do capture and get the data, and that data will be analyzed by the electronic engineer. So that things we have to do. Another thing is chip dose. Now multiple doses on the electronic device. So these 3 points, which I found is more fascinating, so we easily can do. We have a good number of the engineers, good number of biomedical engineers, and good number of biological scientists. Scientists also, and our pharmacists can do it with combination, with collaboration with our engineers, pharmacists and the engineers and biologists, and and our electronic engineers, computer engineers for the chip running processing. So in this way, we can do that. How we can commit it? By inspiring the soul. You did this, it is good. Only the commitment. Just we teachers have to inspire whatever new idea the students bring. Then the student will bring lot of idea, and then the students can start the startup. The students can give the collaborate with the other students because they have a friends of engineers, medical, and the pharmacists, and the scientists, and the biologists. So only the students can do, not only the pharmacist. So in new era, the students can do that. So that is, we have to, after the vaccines, we have to do think on it, and also we have to do in such areas also. So with these words, I thank you for the former professionals of this organization for their placement. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to speak about the compliance to the committee. That is a hot area in nowadays for changing the mindset. So thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much for giving us your precious time. Ma'am, there are certain questions from the students regarding today's webinar, which I am coding from their side. Do I have a permission, ma'am? Can I ask the question?
Pollution. So this is beyond this area. Can I speak? I will try my level
No,
best.
ma'am. I'm saying questions. Questions. There are certain questions. Can I ask them?
You
Thank you, ma'am. One question is from the student from bachelor's. He has asked that sometimes we are committed towards our work, but later on we get distracted. So how we can overcome this distraction, ma'am?
So it's a good question. Very good question from the student. So distraction is first the students have to plan his life, his or her life. The distraction is why the students have to introspect first self. What is the element by which the student is going to distract? Distract because they are at this age. At this age, every student is distracted. It's known fact. But what points is distracting to that? So that point the students have to identify that maybe the teachers is not teaching well, maybe the other personal things maybe. So somehow he has to identify, he has to, if he want to study, if he want to learn, if he or she is want to have interest in that, then it will help to the student to identify that. Once the identification is there, then solution is always the students. This is only the things. Identification is the main problem.
Okay, ma'am.
Is it?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, another question is there. The student again is from bachelor's only, and he has asked that what is at this age, what is correct for us and what is wrong, although they are focused towards studies, but still that commitment which is required towards the studies is somewhere missing. So how they can get that commitment towards their studies?
So I can say that at this point, you are the bachelor. It's okay. Everybody is bachelor before the marriage, so it doesn't matter. And age is also the factor. It's a truth of the truth of a human being. So what you want to be? You want to become a businessman? You want to become a everything to achieve your goal. What is your goal? To achieve any goal, you have to work for that. This time you are achieving other goal, then you will get that result. You will be better than that. So you have to plan your life. इन 4 सालों में अगर मैंने पढ़ाई नहीं की तो मैं फेल हो जाऊंगा, मेरा 1 साल बिगड़ जाएगा या 2 साल बिगड़ जाएगा. तो how I can do? So इस समय the students have to plan, they have to rethink. और हमारे इंडियन नेचर में ये भी कहा गया up to age of the 25 is a 25 age is a ब्रह्मचर्य कहा जाता है. तो ये जो जब कहा जाता है, we should not be, we have to just enjoy, that's it. तो स्टूडेंट्स को they have to plan. After 25 they can do. This is my personal submission also. The student before that, if in a they are in a Indian culture, they have to adopt that Indian culture is very important. They have to just friends like that. So we have to do that and plan their work. What they are thinking, then they will. आप जो देखोगे आप वो बन जाओगे. आपको अपना प्लान करना है तो they should restrict themselves also. नहीं, 1 hour for this work, another hour for this work, and studies for 4 to 5 hours every day. Anyhow, they plan their own chart. So they have to plan. इससे ज़्यादा होगा I will not do. Everything they should enjoy. So this life is graduation life is a golden life. This is throughout the whole life they enjoy. So they have to enjoy it, but plan also. 1 hour, 2 hour, or 5 hours, not more than that. And 8 hours for sleeping also. So they have to plan. Then they will not be distracted.
Okay, ma'am. Another question is by the D-Farm students, diploma student. He wants to know that what generally actually lasts longer, compliance or commitment?
What?
मैम compliance और commitment में लंबी जर्नी किसकी है? What generally lasts longer, a compliance towards something or commitment towards something?
Always we can say commitment you enjoy always. And enjoyment is your life. When you enjoy anything, compliance is a negative. It is just base things. You are getting the money only. That's all. But when you are getting the money with enjoyment, that is commitment. So enjoy your work. When you are enjoying, you will get the more and more idea. You will have a creative thinking. Compliance is just doing the base thing, implementation. You do not have any contribution. You are just implementing. Only that. जब हम किसी को enjoy करते हैं और हम काम work भी कर लेते हैं, as if she is a girl, she is an Indian girl, and in my opinion, Indian girl every time they are enjoying, if food preparation, if they are enjoying, then the taste will be different. And it's just compliance, like a compliance, the taste is different. So everybody is fascinated with commitment. If she is preparing, then everybody is fascinating. सभी उसकी तारीफ करेंगे. लेकिन compliance के साथ करेंगे तो nobody will. हाँ ठीक है बना लिया हो गया okay that's it. That is the main difference.
Okay, ma'am. One last question. I hope, ma'am, we are not taking much time. One last question. Ma'am, slides, the presentation that you have given today regarding today's webinar's topic, it is related to that only. The commitment, when it came to for the commitment, there was one word, that dedicating yourself to something. When we are committed to something, we need to be dedicated towards something. So the student has asked about this, that how that dedication needs to be developed when we want to be committed for something.
Dedication, if you love the things, then you will dedicate. If you love, if you have a desire, I have to learn this, then you are not knowing, at this stage, you are not knowing what is the way and means how I can learn. So, if you have a desire and the passion is the important thing here. If you have a passion to that, then you will dedicate whole time to that and you will learn. That is related to your dedication to your commitment. कि मुझे अभी ये A grade लेना है, then for the A grade, what I have to do. So then you will find by own way, because every student is unique on this earth. किसी का किसी से एक दूसरे से same way नहीं हो सकता, because every student have their own way. They are a special person. Every unique personality. Every person is a unique personality. Their way and working is totally different. So, and if you have a desire to do that, desire and passion also, then your passion will create the thinking in yourself to dedicate to learn the things. So that way and means by you will come, but you should have a passion. If you have a passion, then you will get. Okay.
I hope the students have got their answers. Now I would request our respected director ma'am to say a few words in respect of our respected chief guest ma'am in terms of vote of thanks. Ma'am, please.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for visiting, and I would like to thank you for making time from your busy schedule I know that to speak to SRMU students and enlighten us. And I hope today's webinar was full of knowledge and interesting things. It gave deep insight into the topic and also revealed some interesting facts. As you said, we should be creative in every aspect by making commitments and don't wait for the managers and do your work as an honor. And how beautifully you compare the leader as a surfactant. I am pretty sure that the precious knowledge that you gave us will definitely help our students in their studies and future. And I also want to thank Priyanka, who is the coordinator of this webinar. And thank you, students who present here for paying due attention and learning. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Here, I would like to thank our respected chief guest, Professor Dr. SWARNLATA SARAF ma'am, on the behalf of all the faculty members and all the students. Ma'am, we extend deep gratitude and special thanks for embracing this occasion with your depth of knowledge. We are very grateful for accepting our invitation and enlightening us for today's webinar. Thank you so much, ma'am, for giving us your precious time. I would also like to thank our Director, Institute of Pharmacy, Shri Ramswaroop Memorial University, Professor Dr. MANJU Pandey ma'am, who is the lifeblood of our institute, who effortlessly works for the betterment of the institute as a whole, her faculties and students as a whole. Thank you so much, ma'am, for giving us this opportunity to be the part of this important webinar. I would also like to thank our respected faculty members and dear students for making this webinar a successful one. Thank you. Ma'am, can we end up? Okay. Thank you, students.